Lewerke takes the snap, lobs it inside the 5. LJ with the catch into the end zone at the left pylon. Touchdown, MSU.
Following a 28-14 win against Western Michigan, the Spartans entered their bye week at 2-0. With a marquee game under the lights just around the corner, the young Spartans look to their battle-tested veterans for leadership this week. At the top of that list is junior running back L.J. Scott. Scott has a knack for making the right play at the right time and is determined to lead his team down.
Growing up in Youngstown, it was just like you're either getting in trouble or you're not. Basically, if your mom had the right path for you, then obviously you won't get in trouble. You'll have people looking out for you and wanted to help you with things and, just guide you along the way of basically staying out of trouble. My mom was very important to me because she was the only parent. She struggled a lot, but she's strong. She made sure her kids was first at everything she did. She just made sure we was always under her wing. Whatever she did, she just put her kids first, and she been through a lot with us, so I love her for that. Growing up as a kid, me and my brother would go outside and play in this field that was literally directly right next to our house. We would call it Fumble-Rooski, and basically whoever fumbles first, it's the other person's ball, and basically you tackle that person until he makes a touchdown or until you can't tackle him anymore. So basically we would go out there and we would play for hours and play for hours. And if you wasn't really doing that, you were basically getting in trouble or basically getting in gangs.
When LJ was in 8th grade, one of his teachers saw potential in him and his brother Isaiah and offered them the chance to rise above the streets of Youngstown.
So one day he just decided to ask if we wanted or if we were interested in coming to Hubbard. The coaches over there heard a lot about us. They heard we were, great guys, not only great football players, but great guys. We kind of took it and ran with it, went home one day and told my mom, and it kind of really wasn't no hesitation. It was just like, yes, let's do it. So now she's looking for a house in Hubbard. A couple weeks go by and we get a call that someone found a house in Hubbard. So it was a blessing. It was no hesitation. She wanted to move from Youngstown, so we moved from Youngstown to Hubbard.
Upon arrival to Hubbard, LJ wasted little time making a name for himself.
I coach running backs, so I coach him in the position. And I was actually arguing with my backup running back coach about him starting as a true freshman. And it was the second play of our game against Poland, which is a quality team. And we ran toss right on 2nd and 8. And he made 6-7 people miss him, and he ran 80 yards for a touchdown. And ever since then, I just wrote history. He never came off the field.
LJ shattered Ohio rushing records and landed top college offers. However, it was the relationship formed with Coach Ron Fox that filled a void, leading him to Michigan State.
He was always right there to tell me what I need to do, what I don't need to do, stay out of trouble. Never be around the wrong guys. Always, he was like a mentor, and it was just like unexplainable. I could say so much stuff about him, and I love him. I love him a lot. Love him like a father, and I'm glad our relationship is where it is right now.
I consider him probably like one of my sons, and he would come here probably after 5 o'clock, and we hang out for probably about 3 hours and just talk about football. Ever since then, it's gotten more developed as we're close. He calls me anytime he needs something or needs to talk to me. For me and for him to treat me like I'm his father, it's like the best thing going. We went visit a lot of schools. Michigan State from day one was his first offer. So from day one, he felt like that was family to him. And like I said, we've been up there a couple times before he made his decision. And then what was really nice to me was he came to me and says, "Coach, I'm gonna commit today." I go, "That's sweet." He goes, "Well, I want you there." We called D'Antonio, and Coach picked up like that, and that was it. He goes, "I wasn't gonna miss this call. I figured it had to be, you guys up in Ohio," and that was it.
the way I felt, I just felt comfortable, felt like a family when I came there. It was just different from all the other schools that I visit. It's kind of unexplainable.
It's LJ, they hand off to LJ Scott. Breaks a tackle, 30, 25, 20, 15. He's inside the 10, inside the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown.
First time running out of the tunnel, period, it was exciting. Even to try on a uniform during pictures and everything. That's exciting to just, wow, I'm actually putting on a Michigan State jersey, somewhere I never thought I would be.
We were there for the Oregon game his freshman year. And obviously I had his game jersey. I ordered it online and had Scott number 3. No one knew who he was. And when he scored the first touchdown off tackle and got in the end zone for his first touchdown, it was like awesome. I'm standing up, going with the thumbs, pointing to his name, and everybody's clapping.
We sort of knew what we were getting when we got LJ. He showed up here with high expectations, very highly recruited running back out of Ohio. So we sort of expected him to get here and be a factor pretty quick. He was big, strong, athletic, and picked things up pretty good. So we felt like we could really get him involved in our offense quickly.
LJ became a vital part of the team as a true freshman and helped lead the Spartans to the Big Ten title game. There they faced the undefeated Iowa Hawkeyes with a conference championship and a trip to the Final Four on the line.
So nervous and butterflies going around just because, number one, I've never been at that stage before. Number two, we're in Indianapolis Stadium. There's thousands of hundreds and millions of people watching. They put a lot of trust in me to be able to help the team out in big situations, in certain situations. The last drive, they counted on me a lot, and it was even more butterflies and more nervousness going all through my body, and it was just like, all right, one play at a time, one play at a time.
It all comes down to this for a trip to the college football playoff. 3rd down and goal at the 1 for Michigan State. Can the Iowa defense hold? LJ Scott, the deep man. LJ Scott running right. No, did he get in? Or did he? Yes! Touchdown Spartans! One straight by the true freshman.
LJ was sort of the guy we were going to hitch our wagon to, so to speak, as we got involved in that last drive. Made some great runs throughout that, and he just kept wanting the ball. And when it came down to those last couple plays down there in the red zone and the goal line situation, he showed what type of player he is, most especially in the touchdown run, and the strength he has in getting that ball across.
I didn't feel anything until I got to the sideline. I knew the touchdown was big, so I celebrated. But once I got to the sideline and sat down, it was just like, whoa, there's seconds left in this game. And I pretty much just scored by myself. There was like 6 guys on me.
It's like in a Cinderella story. I mean, you couldn't write a better script. I mean, to get the ball in the last drive and take your team all the way down and end up scoring as a true freshman, I mean, how do you write that?
LJ has written a great script, and now in his junior year, he continues to build upon the strong foundation he brought with him from home.
For me as a man, my time at Michigan State has been awesome. Soon as I got in there, Coach D was speaking about maturity, and handle yourself and present yourself well, not only for your family, but for the name on the front end and the name on the back. I just take all the life lessons that was brought to my attention or mentioned to me during since my freshman year and during the process of being at Michigan State. I taken a run with it. Their life lessons are something I most definitely will need. Just help me be a better man.
Well, I can tell you right now, I never sold Big Ten Michigan State championship shirts here, but when they won the championship that year, I had them in the store. That next week, we were selling them out of here. People were buying them left and right. I mean, so it's crazy because everybody up here is a Buckeye fan, but to see people coming in and buying Michigan State t-shirts just to support him, that's awesome. I mean, so many people recognize him now. He's not just, LJ Scott from Hubbard. He's LJ Scott from Youngstown area.
Talk to my mom, think about how far we came, all the things we've been through, and just to think about where we at now from where we came from is even a big accomplishment And I kind of get chills from it, just knowing the fact that we've been through so much out here. And even when I come home, I still hear people say, man, I can't believe like you actually lived in the city of Youngstown. You would be the first one to do it. And I mean, that just motivates me even more and more. But at the same time, man, I just can't take anything for granted. Gotta stay level-headed, don't get too big-headed, stay humble, number one, always praise the man above, and, you know, thank my mother for even putting me in this position.
With the two universities separated by only 160 miles, the Michigan State-Notre Dame rivalry has been built on consistent scheduling, passionate fan bases, and arguably some of the greatest college football games of all time.
Here to the near side, Dwyer, Seymour, Bubba Smith, number 95, breaking through.
Later in the first period, the Irish are forced to kick.
The team first met in 1897. However, it wasn't until 1949 when the Detroit alumni clubs from each institution teamed up to construct the Megaphone Trophy.
The schools thought, hey, this is a big game. When the Spartans play the Fighting Irish, let's play for something. And I think it's great for college football when you have a trophy that sits in your trophy case after you win, and unfortunately, the other guy gets it if he wins.
I do believe that it adds a bit to it, especially in a game like this. Any trophy that has to do with a rivalry, I think just kind of adds a little something to it, you know, because you're playing for something tangible that you can see, and there's a certain bragging right and a certain pride that comes with it.
I think guys always feel like, especially when the game's over, I don't want those guys to come and get this, so we got to make sure they don't get to come and get it. When you have a football building as beautiful as Michigan State's, you like to keep that trophy right where it belongs. And right now, that's where the Megaphone Trophy sits.
The Spartans and the Irish have provided many memorable moments in the historic rivalry, stemming from the game of the century in 1966 to Little Giants in 2010.
Bates will hold. Alex Shackleton will snap. Dan Conroy with the biggest kick of his life.
You know, the national championship that Michigan State football has comes from the game of the century, the famous 10-10 tie.
The final score, Michigan State 10, Notre Dame 10.
I mean, if you look at the number of guys who played in the National Football League, who played in that game, it's amazing. I was maybe 40 rows up, but you could feel the collisions on the field.
It is ingrained in this program's history when it comes to Notre Dame and Michigan State. And the biggest memory for me that stands out has to be back in 2010. The Little Giants play that had everybody going insane in the membrane.
6-yard line, right hash mark. Aaron Bates will hold. Oh, they'll fake it. Bates throws it.
He's got him!
Yeah, wide open. He's got Charlie Gant inside the 10. He can walk in. Spartans win. Touchdown, MSU.
It was just absolutely pandemonium at Spartan Stadium. Having this game at the beginning of the season, it sets the table. I think it does provide an accurate measure, an accurate optic as to where this team is going.
When you play against Notre Dame early in the season, you know that you're going to have to survive a physical, emotional football game.
Looking at last year, I think it taught MSU that you have to constantly have your head on a swivel.
When two teams with the traditional firepower and the standout players on defense that the Spartans and the Irish have, you can't get far enough ahead. Be careful, no lead is really safe when Notre Dame and Michigan State meet.
Having a night game at Michigan State is unlike anything I've ever experienced. It's one of my favorite memories as a student here at MSU.
Night games are special. Really, the football capital of America on this Saturday night will be Spartan Stadium, and that makes so much difference because the fans are so into it, and the players feel like hey, everybody's watching, and we've got to play at the top of our ability, and they almost always do. Good evening, everybody, from noisy, jam-packed Spartan Stadium in East Lansing. This is the 79th meeting between the Spartans and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. The Spartans have the second most victories in the country among all teams who have played the Irish. Only USC has more.
And since 1949, Michigan State and Notre Dame have been playing for the Megaphone Trophy.
Yet this series is going to go away soon for a few years, which means the team that wins the Megaphone Trophy tonight will get to keep it for a long time.
MSU won the toss deferred. Notre Dame to receive. And we're underway from East Lansing. Out of the shotgun, Winbush. Draw play with room. Breaks it back. First down. Touchdown Irish. Notre Dame.
Hey, cool down, handle your business, and tell me what's going on.
Lewerke to throw it. And picked up. Watch out. Julian Love. Touchdown Irish. 59 yards.
This is an important series for the psyche of not only the team, but for the quarterback, Brian Lewerke, after throwing a pick six.
Third and short. And Lewerke can run. Hits the sideline. Still moving. And out of bounds. Short drop. In the corner. Touchdown. Darryl Stewart. One up and got it.
The Spartans here answer with that drive. 7 plays, 75 yards.
Winbush to throw it. Looking. And a go down. Great pressure by Michigan State as they force the sack. Lewerke steps up in the pocket, bottled up, buying time, gets a block, lost the ball, Notre Dame has it. Winbush looking, thinks about running it, fires! Touchdown Irish! Lewerke though, he's got to get his team going. Lewerke underneath, and there's a confident throw, catch, and first down. Stewart in motion. Scott. Oh, Scott cuts it back, touchdown, Michigan State.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchback, first down, Notre Dame.
Wow. Notre Dame forces the third turnover of the first half. An interception and 2 fumbles. And Michigan State comes up empty.
Three snaps of the football are the difference in the game, and that's the 21-point margin.
Go, oh, come on.
Lewerke wants to throw it. Steps up, delivers. Caught at the 35, and a first down for the Spartans.
A nice opening series here. They need a score desperately to answer Notre Dame's first half.
They'll hand it to the deep man. It's Scott following his blocks. Hits the sideline quickly and steps out of bounds. Matt Coughlin comes in. He has not attempted a field goal yet this season, but has made all 9 of his point-after tries from 40 yards away. Oh, and he nailed it. Michigan State settles for the 3 points. Confidence builder. Hand it off, and Michigan State right there. Second down and 7. And they'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nice defense by Kenny Willekes. Drops off a screen pass to Holmes. He's got blockers in front of him. Looking for a crease. Follows his blocks. And gets into the end zone for a touchdown. Lewerke to throw it to the end zone. Caught. And that's a 2-point conversion. Cody White. Lewerke to throw over the middle. And it's caught by Rising. Trying to get out of bounds, and he does not. And that'll take us to the end of the game. 38-18.
All is not lost here for Michigan State either, because some of their best seasons have come when they lost to Notre Dame.
You can't go -3 in the turnover margin and easily win a football game. And two of them really, one resulted in a touchdown on an interception, and one took a touchdown away from us. So those are critical errors that we just very, very difficult to overcome. I think we've got to control their quarterback and contain them. Too many penalties for us. On the offensive side of the ball, we did some good things with football. We've got to score more points as well. So when you get right down to us, the turnovers hurt us, and we couldn't overcome those situations. But in my way of thinking, this phase 2, out of conference schedule is over. We go to the Big Ten Conference. Iowa comes here this next week, so got to get ourselves ready and get ready to play.
Simone.